There's some wild shit that we gotta discuss today. I just took extra strength cough syrup, and so like it's gonna get a little weird. So I hope that you are strapped in. I don't know if we can monetize this. I don't care because it's about to be a good ass video. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you didn't know, I have bronchitis and a sinus infection, which is like really cool. So I am on medication that makes me a little drowsy. Not anything crazy, but like I also just get like cabin fever when I'm sick. Like I just get weird, and I was like losing my mind, being bored. So I decided I wanted you guys to submit your craziest dating stories because I myself feel like I have some wild stuff that goes on. Like I don't know what it is about this face that just says, you've got some weird shit, like some weird stuff you want to talk about. Come on. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. All right? But that's seriously how I feel. So I wanted to know y'all's stories so that I could kind of compare. And let me tell you, some of y'all also got whatever gene it is that makes people do some weird shit, because these messages had me crazy. I was not gonna read them. Like I was gonna wait because I was like, you know, I want to be surprised. But then that like elementary school kid in me panicked because I thought about like how, you know, when you would like have to read in front of everybody, so you would count your paragraphs down to see which one was yours so you could pre-read it. That way you didn't screw up and people would make fun of you. It's my YouTube video. I have the ability to edit it, but like I still panicked. But I'm glad I did because some of these had me cackling last night. So let's get right into these dating app stories. Okay, so this first one isn't as like a long story, but it still cracks me up. So this girl says, so I was dating a guy and we went for Mexican. It was only like our 4th date. He had to go use the restroom and he was gone like what seemed like forever. So I picked the phone up to text my friend and said, I think I'm the guy I'm on a date with, literally just left the table mid-date to go take a shit. Only the text didn't go to my friend, it went to him. So he's just in there probably taking a shit. I mean, it's Mexican, honey. Like you know, it happened. Everybody poops. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know if I should run or ignore it. I sat and waited for him to come back. He didn't see the text until an hour later. I still felt like an ass, and then he ghosted me. Dude, I get it, but like also I feel like it would have been really funny. Like I feel like if I was gone, I don't know, I would be embarrassed, but at the same time, everybody poops, you know? Shit happens, literally. You're at Mexican, all right? To Google something first because she said that she had to look it up and then didn't explain to me, like, sis, you think? Oh. All right, well, let's get right into this one. Okay. I love that the way this person opened it up. You asked for dating app nightmares? I have several, but this one is the top. A guy messaged me that he was separated and looking for an A&R, which is an adult nursing relationship. I also had to look it up. I said no, flat out, not interested if he was still legally married. Anyway, she showed a friend and it turned out that that guy was her husband's cousin and he still was with his wife and they have kids. My friend told his wife, glad I wasn't part of that combo. I think she meant that it was her cousin's, her cousin's husband. Regardless, wild. Adult nursing to adultery. Oh my God. This one, I read this one first, and when I tell you, oh my God. First of all, she started with, don't know how crazy this is. And when I tell you, this is the wildest one I've ever read. Like, I feel like the people who are like, here's my crazy one, and then it's something super mundane. And then this girl comes in with, oh, it's not super crazy. Listen to this. So she says, met a guy on Hinge, asked me on a date pretty quick. Also should mention that I had just moved to another continent for my master's degree a few months ago. Okay, so she's in a new continent and on Hinge, got it. Back to the guy, he asked me out, suggested a cute little museum and coffee date. I agreed, gave him my number. We agreed to meet on the weekend, and 2 days into texting each other, he tells me he's not vanilla. I wasn't really looking for casual no strings attached thing and told him, but we still didn't cancel the date. I don't know, I was infatuated. The date was great, like he was nice, cute, and cough really tall, like super tall, but everything is going fast. Like after some time we're holding hands, he kissed me in the park and we're walking back to my student accommodation. He doesn't leave, I asked him up, he agreed, and somehow we end up in bed. Did some stuff, I said I wasn't ready for sex, he respected it, and then asked if I would try anal. First date! And I said yes. She said the only reason I said no to sex was because I really didn't want to get pregnant. So second date, go to a nearby bar, another good date, come back to my room. This dude says he's got a gift for me and pulls out lube for anal. I mean, respectfully. She said, oh, he also sent me PDF copies. I mean, we love a compatible queen. On how to improve sex life and give better blowjobs, then ghosted me for 2 weeks and broke up with me on Valentine's Day. I should also mention it was my first time and everything. What? That? Wild. Next. Okay, took a brief intermission because I am a really good YouTuber and my camera battery died. But this one is also wild. So, this guy and this other guy had been talking for a few weeks and finally decided to meet up and go on a first date. When I showed up to the restaurant, he met me outside and we walked in, and instead of checking in at the hostess station, we walked straight to a table where his basically whole family was already sitting. His parents and step-parents and his grandparents on his mom's side. I hesitated, but I sat down for dinner. It started off awkward, but then somewhat okay, then immediately turned awkward again when his grandparents said they would pay for either an adoption for us or to have a surrogate. I excused myself to the restroom and left dinner and blocked out everything. I don't usually, if you gotta walk it out, you gotta walk it out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot. That's heavy, you know? He didn't even give my brother a warning. He was just like, straight into it. Okay, I got these two literally while I was waiting for my camera battery to charge. I once went on a first date to BJ's restaurant where the guy showed up late. Then he was wearing pajama pants and a leather jacket. That's a fit. His excuse was he had no clean pants. Oh, and before he walked up to me, he downed a tall boy. Men. Okay, this one I haven't read yet. You're gonna get my genuine reaction. Crazy hookup story, feel free to share. So I met this guy on Grindr and went to his house. When I went to his room, I saw a pipe laying on his dresser. I was thinking to myself that maybe he smokes weed. Nothing wrong with that. He then proceeds to grab the pipe and start smoking it, but I didn't see him put any weed in there. And then he asked me, do you want a hit? To which I asked him what was, and he replied with meth. I politely declined, and then he asked me if I wanted some coke. To which I declined again and proceeded to tell him I had to go because my dog died. Now that's an excuse. I just love that. I politely declined. Righty. I matched with a guy on a dating app. He video chatted me that night, super weird and awkward. Then we met at a park a few days later. My friend and her husband and my sister were with me to make it seem like not anything crazy or romantic because I was already weirded out. First thing he did when we got near my dog was grab at me from the back and scared her super bad. She pooped after that. So while my sister went to go get another, because the bag went missing, he picked up her poop with grass clippings with his bare hands. Then later on was touching me with those hands, and it was not warranted touches. Oh, hell no. I don't know how he didn't pick up on the vibes. During this part of my life, I was struggling with disordered eating, trigger warning, and anxiety, and lost a bunch of weight very fast. When we video chatted, he had asked why I was so thin, and I slightly opened up to him for that reason. Okay, so at the park, he bursted out loud to all these people we were with how much weight I had lost, and it was so uncomfortable. Oh, no, no, no. When we all went to leave, he tried to invite himself over to my friend's house to hang out or to come eat with us. I sat in the back of my car with my dog feeding her, waiting for him to leave, and he slid himself into my car and scooted me over. Then he opened my car door and blocked me and then kissed me. I didn't even kiss him back. Later texted me saying he wished he was cuddling with me and my dog. Blocked him after that. No, 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 no. This one is very short, but also chaotic. Went on my first Tinder date after a breakup. His cat bit me, and I met his mother and his grandma. Why do people think they can have a family reunion as a first date? Well, I was on Plenty of Fish years ago, and this guy started talking to, we were hitting off, everything was good until he texted he was supposed to come over. He texted me and asked if I would be weirded out if he told me he put his pee-pee in a plastic shopping bag. I've never blocked someone so fast. Me and my friends referred to him as Dick Bag for the longest time. He lives in my town, and it's super weird when I see him. I'm always wondering if he still does it. And she said she thought of it because he came at her work the other day. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Wow. Some of y'all, seem like you could have almost caught a felony from some of these. Let me tell ya. Oh my god. Wildest dating app story I have. I was a little tipsy and just swiping on everyone on Tinder. She put terrible, I know. And I swiped on someone that I used to take care of his daughter at the daycare I worked at. Ended up adding him on Snapchat. He had no idea who I was, and before I could tell him, he sends me a picture. Not of his ding-a-ling. Oh no. He sends me a picture of his booty. Do men do that? There's never been one time in my life where I'm like, man, I wonder what he's packing back there. She also put it as tootie hole, and I don't know if that was intentional, but that made it even worse. Wow, that is... Y'all, these are so good. These are so good. Oh my god. So... this lady, so in October, I went on a date with a guy from Hinge. He shows up in basketball shorts and a button-down that does not fit and is unbuttoned to his mid-chest. He also has such bad dandruff that his shoulders are covered in it. We went to a coffee shop at the last minute change of plans because the place I picked was closed that day. He gets apple juice. Red flag. That should have been your first red flag. You taking a toddler to a date. Even I'm not a coffee drinker and I get something other than apple juice. Did he get a bendy straw? Then we sit down and he proceeds to stare at me for the most of the date, stroking his beard and going, what can I ask you? No. Could not hold a conversation at all. At one point, I even said to him that he didn't have to keep asking questions and he could just respond to what I was saying with a story he thought of that was related. His response, what can I ask you? Anytime I asked him a question, I got a 1 or 2 word response straight back to, what can I ask you? While he sips his apple juice. So obviously this date isn't going well. I've decided there won't be a second, but I'll stick it out for the experience and the story. As we're wrapping up, he goes, oh, I have one. I was like, go ahead. He said, I'm a planner. When do you want to get engaged and when do you want to have kids? Mind you, I planned the entire date, which was the first day. Oh, this motherfucker said that he was a planner. And then she had to plan the first date. And this dude is projecting to get engaged. I don't even remember what I told him, but I conveniently remembered I had plans with my aunt who lived around the corner in 10 minutes. So awkward. I almost feel I should mention this was my very first date ever. Oh my god, I am so sorry that you were traumatized. Oh my god. I met a guy on Bumble and didn't know that he was a full hoarder, like on the show. He took me to a property at night with more stuff than I've ever seen in my life. The house had a tree fall on it with the stuff inside. He made me climb through with flashlights because he was looking for something. I literally had to help him drag a piece of equipment out of the house in the dark, hoarder style. I had 14 mosquito bites and one hell of a story. What? Sorry, crazy story if you don't mind lesbian stories. Of course! I love all stories. I don't care who it's about. Met a girl off of Plenty of Fish. We met up at my softball tourney because I meet people in public places because I don't want to be murdered. That's a smart gal. And within the first 10 minutes, I knew this girl was crazy, so I tried to give her the not interested vibes and even nicely tell her that it's not gonna work. Well, I thought she got the memo, but I was wrong. The next day I'm at work, and mind you, I never told her where I work, and it's a hard place to find if you don't know where to look. Anyway, I'm at work, and I have to run out to my Jeep to grab something, and I open my door, which they were locked, to find roses, candy, a card, 6 Monster energy drinks, and some new hiking maps that are waterproof. Such an array of gifts. The waterproof maps is really what's throwing me. I'm like, what the fuck? And how did they get in my car? I was freaked out, read the card, and no name. Just, you're amazing and beautiful and so smart and everything I could ever want. This happened 4 different times. Then one night I look out my bedroom window and I see her sitting in her car watching me. No. Let's just say I got pissed and my roommate and I ended up scaring her off, but damn, she was crazy stalker chick. Cause again, I never told her where I lived, yet she found me. She was also a prison guard at a state prison here. Talk about freaky. If you use this for you too, keep my name anonymous. Of course, I got you. That's spooky. I was video chatting with this guy through a dating app. After we had been messaging for a few weeks, we were talking for a while. He dropped his phone to see his fully erect, you know, then apologized profusely and kept saying it was an accident. Then a little while later he was like, so what do you think? I said, think of what? He goes, my guy, which with an eyebrow wiggle. I said, I don't know, man. It's like small, hung up and blocked. That's the energy we want to see. This is a fun one just because it's one of those like, what are the odds, you know? Okay, so this was her roommate. So our roommate back in 2019 was constantly inviting guys over off Tinder. One day she had someone over and it ended up snowing an absurd amount for where we live. The guy ended up getting snowed into our apartment for 4 days with us. Slumber party. She didn't even know his name. They hooked up the night before it snowed and we woke up to like 2 feet of snow. After my fiance spent 3 hours digging out this guy's sports car, he bailed and ended up low-key stalking our roommate for months afterwards. Oh, I forgot to add that this dude legit shouted from his car up to her room. We lived on a second story with a deck off the spare room, that he loved her and she was his princess that he'd been waiting for. Oh, I hate the way that men. This one's crazy because like, I'm glad you're safe. Okay, I'm glad you're safe. This is wild. Okay, would like to remain anonymous, totally fine. Respect it. Okay, so this was early. You're a great storyteller. Like, you set the scene. This was early 2019. I was 18, he was 22. He and I had met on Tinder, and he was in the country on a 3-month visa to try out a new job here. When we met, he was on the last month of the visa. Fast forward, the relationship is pretty normal. I snuck out and spent most of the time in his apartment. When it came to him leaving back to Australia, he told me that I might not hear from him once he lands because his ex had said some things to the police that had gotten the attention of the FBI. But he was already in Europe by then. 3-month visa? I think this man was running from the law. So he lands, nothing happens, we think we're in the clear. We do long distance for a few months and we plan for me to fly out to see him on his dime. A week before my flight, the FBI, Australian Federal Police, and Interpol had led a raid on his house to seize all of his electronics at this point. He had told me it was because of his business. Sis, they don't bring in Interpol for just a little tax evasion. Interpol is when you do some real stuff. Or at least that's what I think because I watch Criminal Minds. She said, I still saw nothing wrong. Oh my God. So I flew out there anyway and spent 3 weeks. I mean, free trip is a free trip. I get it. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna judge, but like Interpol, as soon as I heard FBI, I would have been like, we're done. When I was flying home, I passed through the first passport check and I got pulled aside to talk with 2 detectives. Long story short, on his phone, they had found explicit photos of me, which I had never sent him, but I lied for him. How did he get them? Did he take them? Nasty. A few months later, we broke up because of the distance. In November of that year, he contacted me because he was about to go to jail. What? That one genuinely, like, that one did it. That one did it for me. Because I was like, Interpol? The Australian Federal Police? He got stopped and homeboy was fleeing the country. Fleeing. That's insane. But I mean, at 18, I also probably wouldn't have been like, there's no way, I'm going to Australia. I don't know. I've done dumb shit in my day, so I'm not judging, but like, I feel like that was a lot to unpack, but honestly, thank you so much if you submitted me a story because these were wild, okay? These make me feel a little less alone for all my wild and crazy stories that I have, because let me tell you, I have a lot to unpack. Let me know if you want to hear all mine because I can definitely compile a video. Thank you so much. Those stories were just chef's kiss. Way to brighten my day with some chaotic stuff. I'm glad y'all are okay, because some of y'all flirting with death. Okay, some of y'all need to go watch a couple episodes of Criminal Minds. But, I mean, you know, you live to tell the tale. That's what I always say. Now you got some fun stories to tell. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. We can definitely do this again. I'm sure that more people could have stories that we could share. I would love to be the outlet to share all your stories, you know? I'll do it. I'll story time it up. I don't care. But go ahead and subscribe to keep up with me and all my content. All my links are down below. You can buy my apparel. I am sold out of some sizes. So if you don't see your size, it's not because I don't carry it. It's because I'm sold out. All right. I will see you on the next video. Bye. Stay safe out there, okay? I've made mistakes too, but like, also, can we talk about the fact that like 99% of those stories were men? Okay. I'll just leave you with that. I'll leave you with that to ponder. Bye.